Here's something that's going to change how you think about your morning routine. Most people assume that as long as they haven't eaten breakfast, their body is still deep in repair mode. And honestly, that sounds reasonable. You went to bed, you woke up, you haven't touched a fork, so the maintenance crew must still be working, right? Wrong. Your body's internal repair process, the one scientists call autophagy, doesn't have a calorie counter. It doesn't care whether you ate or not. What it cares about is something much more specific, your insulin signaling. And insulin responds to more than just food. Right now, millions of people are waking up, reaching for what they think is a safe morning drink, and without realizing it, flipping their metabolic switch from repair to store in under 15 minutes, before they even check their phone. A splash of creamer, a squeeze of honey in warm lemon water, a cold-pressed green juice full of vitamins, a zero-calorie sweetener. These are not breakfast, but your body doesn't know that. Here's the mental model that changes everything. Think of your body overnight as a skyscraper after hours. The day crew, growth, digestion, energy storage has gone home. The night shift maintenance crew has full access to every floor. They're repairing broken equipment, hauling out damaged cellular debris, cleaning storage rooms that haven't been touched in weeks. This is autophagy. This is your body doing the work that literally affects how you age. But that crew doesn't work on a schedule. They work until they're interrupted. And some of the most common morning drinks act like false alarms. Emergency calls that sound urgent pull workers away from their repairs and reset the whole process before the job is done. Today, we're going through the 6 most common offenders. Some of them are going to surprise you. One of them is probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now. And by the end, you'll have a clear, practical replacement for each one. Because keeping your repair crew working isn't about suffering through an extreme dry fast. It's about understanding which signals your body is actually listening to. Let's start with the one that surprises people the most. Signal 1. The creamer conflict. I only use a little bit of creamer. That is the most common sentence I hear from people who are genuinely trying to extend their fasting window. And look, a tablespoon of creamer feels like nothing. It's not a meal. It's barely a choice. But here's what that tablespoon is actually doing inside your body. Dairy-based creamers and most nut milk creamers contain a combination of carbohydrates and proteins that your metabolic system recognizes as an energy signal. The moment that signal arrives, your pancreas begins releasing insulin. Even a small insulin release changes the internal environment of your cells. The building manager, your hormonal system, has just received an emergency call, and now it's issuing a new set of instructions. The maintenance crew has to stop. Not because the damage isn't there, not because the cleaning isn't important, but because the building is now signaling that it needs to switch from repair mode to resource management mode. Growth pathways get activated, cellular cleanup pathways get dialed down, and just like that, the final hours of your overnight maintenance window, which research suggests may be among the most productive for cellular quality control, are cut short. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you genuinely cannot drink black coffee, there is one swap that changes the equation. But the specificity matters, so stay with me for a second. Not all medium-chain fatty acid supplements behave the same way. The one that works here is the caprylic acid form, because your liver converts it almost directly into ketones, bypassing the processing route that triggers an insulin response. Yes, it has calories, but remember, calories alone aren't what ends your repair window. It's the hormonal signal. And this specific form produces a minimal one, typically low enough that most people can maintain their repair environment. The maintenance crew keeps working. Your cells stay in the metabolic environment that supports repair. Think of it as giving the crew a quiet delivery of supplies through the loading dock instead of triggering the building's entire alarm system. Later, I'll show you a morning drink that doesn't just preserve the repair window. It may actually help the crew work faster. But first, there's a drink most people have convinced themselves is completely safe, and they're half right. Signal 2, the lemon water trap. Lemon water has become one of those non-negotiable morning rituals, and honestly, most of the time, it deserves its reputation. Fresh lemon juice in water is essentially a metabolically neutral signal. The juice from half a lemon contains roughly 3 to 4 grams of carbohydrates, trace amounts that don't produce a meaningful hormonal response in most fasting contexts. For most people, plain lemon water is a green light. The problem isn't the lemon, the problem is what people put with it. Honey, agave syrup, a scoop of flavored collagen powder. These additions feel small, but they introduce a clear energy signal. Fructose, the primary sugar in honey and agave, is processed directly by the liver. And when fructose arrives during a period when your body has been signaling low energy availability, it disrupts the very metabolic conditions that support cellular maintenance. Here's the picture. Plain lemon water is like turning on a quiet hallway light in the building. Nobody on the maintenance crew even notices. But the moment you add a meaningful source of fructose, it's like a crowd arriving at the building entrance while the crew is still cleaning the lobby. The building systems have to respond. Priorities shift. The night shift starts wrapping up early. If you love warm lemon water in the morning, keep it simple. Warm filtered water, a wedge of fresh lemon squeezed directly in. Nothing added. This version can gently prime the liver for the day without triggering the downstream hormonal cascade that ends repair. Some people notice less morning digestive sluggishness when they start this habit. That's your system waking up smoothly, with the maintenance crew allowed to finish its final rounds. Now we've been talking about drinks that slow things down. What if there was a drink that actively helped the process along? Signal 3. The green tea accelerator. Plain water preserves your repair window. Black coffee has been studied for its relationship with repair-associated pathways. But if you want to understand what might actively tip the scales in your favor, you need to know about what's sitting inside your green tea. Green tea contains a compound that does something none of the other drinks on this list do. It may actually support the repair process rather than simply preserving it. That compound is called EGCG, and it's most concentrated in matcha. Here's what the research suggests. It does. EGCG appears to support a specific cellular signaling pathway called AMPK that functions as your body's internal energy status report. When that signal is active, the message throughout your cells is, energy is limited, prioritize maintenance over construction. Research from institutions like the Salk Institute has documented this relationship in mechanistic studies. To bring it back to our analogy, while black coffee can keep the building quiet and give the maintenance crew space to work, EGCG is like handing the crew a more efficient set of tools. It doesn't interrupt them. It may help them move faster and work deeper. This is a different category from the drinks we've discussed so far. We're not just preserving a window. We're potentially enhancing the quality of the work being done inside it. The practical takeaway is simple. If you're drinking 2 cups of coffee in the morning, consider swapping the second one for a high-quality matcha, not a pre-sweetened cafe matcha latte. Those are loaded with sugar and will immediately trigger the kind of insulin response we've been talking about. A clean matcha whisked in hot water with nothing added. There's also a second benefit worth knowing. Matcha contains L-theanine alongside its caffeine, which means you get a calmer, more sustained alertness than coffee alone tends to produce. No mid-morning crash, no jitteriness that makes you reach for something sweet. Just a clean signal that supports both your repair environment and your focus simultaneously. But here's the thing. Even the best accelerator can't help if you're already sending your body a disruption signal 20 minutes earlier. And there is one healthy morning drink that is one of the most misunderstood metabolic traps in the entire wellness space. Signal 4. The healthy juice illusion. Cold-pressed green juice sounds like exactly the kind of thing your body should love in the morning. And to be fair, the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients in a well-made green juice are genuinely valuable. This is not an argument against green juice as a concept. This is an argument about timing and a specific mechanism most people have never been told about. When juice is cold-pressed, the fiber is removed. And fiber does something critical. It slows the rate at which sugars enter your bloodstream. Without fiber, the fructose and glucose in even a low-sugar green juice arrive quickly and in concentrated form. The liver receives a surge of energy signal. Insulin responds. The metabolic environment that supports cellular cleanup shifts toward energy processing and storage. Picture what this means in our skyscraper. Your maintenance crew has been working through the night. They're in the final phase of their shift. The deepest repairs are happening right now. And then a crowd rushes into the building. Not a small crowd, a concentrated surge that the building systems have to manage immediately. The crew puts down their equipment. The night shift ends early, not because the work was finished, but because the building's priorities just changed. The nutritional value of the juice hasn't disappeared. The micronutrients are still there, but the timing means you've ended your cellular repair cycle at exactly the moment it was delivering the most value. The fix isn't complicated. Save the juice for your meal window, where the fiber from the food you're eating can buffer the sugar load. And if you want something to sip in the morning that supports digestion without sending an energy signal, apple cider vinegar diluted in water is one of the most underrated options available. The acetic acid in ACV has been studied for its relationship with blood sugar management and may help maintain the metabolic conditions associated with cellular maintenance, without delivering a concentrated fructose load to your liver. 1 tablespoon in 8 to 10 ounces of water. That's the whole recipe. Signal 5. The Sweetener Paradox. This one is going to challenge something a lot of people believe they have completely figured out. 0 calories means no metabolic response, right? If there's no sugar, there's no insulin, and the repair window stays intact. This is the logic behind every stevia-sweetened morning beverage, and it sounds airtight. Except the research on something called the cephalic phase, insulin response, tells a more complicated story. Here's what a cephalic phase response actually is. Your brain isn't a passive observer of what you eat and drink. It's constantly running predictions. The moment you taste something sweet, even with 0 sugar, even with 0 caloric content, your brain registers that sweetness and initiates an anticipatory metabolic response. It expects sugar. It begins preparing your body to process it. For many people, that preparation includes a measurable early insulin release triggered purely by taste. In our skyscraper terms, you're the building manager, and someone hits the intercom with what sounds like an urgent delivery. You stop the maintenance crew and redirect them to the loading dock. The delivery truck never arrives. But the crew has already stopped working, and the metabolic disruption happened regardless. The research here is not perfectly settled, and individual responses vary meaningfully. Some people show measurable cephalic insulin responses to artificial sweeteners, while others show minimal or no response. But here's the key principle. During a fasting window, why introduce uncertainty when you can stick to signals your body definitively recognizes as neutral? Sweet taste, regardless of where it comes from, is a signal your brain is wired to respond to. The simplest approach is to stick to bitter or neutral flavors until you're ready to break your fast. Black coffee, plain tea, plain matcha, plain water. Once you've crossed into your eating window, add whatever you want. But in the hours before that, let your body stay in quiet mode. Don't give it signals it has to interpret and respond to before it's time. And speaking of signals the body responds to powerfully, there's one morning drink that people often think of as gentle and nourishing that is actually one of the most reliable ways to end a cellular repair cycle. Let's talk about bone broth. Signal 6. The bone broth bridge. Bone broth is genuinely one of the most nutrient-dense things you can put in your body. Collagen precursors, bioavailable minerals, glycine, proline. The health argument behind it is real and well supported. This is not about whether bone broth is good for you. It is. This is about what bone broth does to your cellular signaling, and specifically what it does because of one amino acid. Leucine. Leucine is the most potent dietary activator of mTOR in the human diet. Think of mTOR as your body's primary growth and construction switch. When it's flipped on, cells receive a clear signal to build, multiply, and expand. The name is a mouthful. The function is simple. mTOR means the building is open for construction, and that's exactly what you want in the right context, after a workout, inside your meal window, when your body is ready to grow and rebuild. But mTOR and the cellular maintenance pathways associated with autophagy operate on a kind of seesaw. When one is elevated, the other is suppressed. And leucine doesn't gradually nudge that balance. It flips the switch with notable force. The construction foreman shows up, the maintenance crew receives notice that their shift is over, and the equipment gets packed away whether the repair work was finished or not. Protein-rich bone broth, especially versions simmered for extended periods, contains meaningful amounts of amino acids, including leucine. When you drink it during your fasting window, you're not adding calories the way a full meal would, but you are activating the amino acid sensing machinery in your cells with enough intensity to interrupt the repair environment you've spent the entire night building toward. The practical application is clear. Bone broth is not a morning fasting drink. It's a fast-breaking drink. Think of it as the ideal soft landing, the perfect transition for your digestive system when you're genuinely ready to move from repair state into nourishment mode. An hour before your first real meal, bone broth is a thoughtful and well-supported choice. At 7 a.m., during your fasting window, it ends the night shift before the crew has finished, without delivering the full nutritional context that would make ending it worthwhile. Timing, not the ingredient itself, is what determines whether this is a tool or a disruption. Here's what's worth sitting with for a moment. None of these 6 drinks are villains. Creamer, lemon water, green juice, sweeteners, bone broth. Each one has a real and defensible place in a healthy diet. The issue isn't the ingredient. The issue is the signal. And that signal doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care that you chose the healthy version or that the label says 0 calories. Your cells are responding to chemistry, not marketing. What you've actually learned today isn't a list of things to avoid. It's a new way of reading your morning routine. Every drink is a message, and the question to ask isn't, is this healthy? It's, what signal does this send, and when? Some drinks are quiet. Plain water, black coffee, clean matcha, ACV and water. They let the night shift finish without triggering a response. Others redirect the maintenance crew before their shift is complete. Knowing which is which means you can choose deliberately instead of stumbling into a trade-off without realizing it. And look, this isn't about rigid rules. Before an intense workout, during illness recovery, on a morning where the schedule doesn't cooperate, there are valid reasons to break your fast earlier. The goal isn't perfection, it's that when you make that call, it's yours. A conscious decision, not an accidental one. So start with one swap tomorrow morning, just one. Take the drink on this list that's already in your routine and replace it with its repair-supporting version. Let that become automatic before you make the next one. Because most people think of their health as what they do during the day, the food they choose, the workouts they complete, the supplements they take. But your body's most important maintenance work happens in the quiet hours when you give it silence. The real longevity variable isn't how well you nourish the day shift. It's whether you let the night shift finish. The cells that get repaired this morning are the cells that determine how you feel 10 years from now. And right now, the only thing standing between your maintenance crew and a complete shift is what's sitting in your mug. Tell me in the comments, what is the first thing you drink when you wake up? I want to see how many of us have been accidentally ending our repair cycles at 7 a.m. without ever knowing it.